The mid-90s was a tough time for hockey in Canada. The NHL was definitely moving towards the States. And you had Quebec move to Colorado, you had Winnipeg move to Arizona, and you had a lot of uncertainty about whether or not Calgary, Vancouver, and Edmonton would be able to make it either. As all three teams went through their own ownership struggles, the Canadian dollar was down, the economy was not great, and so there was some concern about hockey existing in Canada. And then Arizona gets a team in Phoenix called the Phoenix Coyotes. So we're like, oh, okay, Coyotes. And then when they debuted their logo, it was this, and this was unique. It was completely different than anything that we'd seen before. I would argue anything we've seen since. So with southwestern native inspired designs, this Kachina Jersey has become now a famous thing. This is now something that people tend to covet. They didn't covet it when it came out. And I remember the initial response to this jersey was, what the hell is that? Is that really a coyote? Looks like a robot or something. And there was definitely a lot of I'm not going to say necessarily laughter. I can only say that I and a couple friends of mine laughed when we saw the logo initially. Like, what is that? That's what the Jets have turned into? Oh my lord. So, there was that reaction out there. And yeah, this is the original jersey from the first couple of years. I got this one at a clearance sale in Chilliwack for a store that was going out of business. It was one of those stores that cropped up that was like, we're going to sell all 30 teams jerseys. Okay. And then it didn't work. There just wasn't enough demand. There weren't collectors back then of every team. So, Phoenix was going to sit there and Philly was going to sit there. And so I just went in and I'll take that and that and that and that. And that. Because it was income tax time. So I had a few $100s. And since they were $40 each, I was like, all right, well, that works out. Here's my few $100. I'll take this rack here and I'll go. So yeah, that's how I got, I will say like 6 jerseys that day, 5 or 6 jerseys that day, which started the whole collection thing. That's where I started to say, it would be fun if I had one for every team, and this was the Arizona one I got. So I've had this for over 20 years. I don't wear it often because, of course, it's white, so it's a stain attractor, and of course, it's a starter. Now, the black one I have is a CCM, and this is technically the throwback. So, as reviled as these were when they first came out, and if you liked them, you're probably on the American side of the border. And I'm being serious. For Canadian fans, considering the Jets turned into this, it was considered an abomination. It has grown on people over the years. That's the reason that the Kachina Jersey is now very popular. So when they release this, it always sells out pretty darn quick. Now, I have this one in a CCM, and we'll take a look at the Adidas version as well. But I always liked the black version of the jersey. I always liked the colors being darker. Nice dark forest green up here and the dark burgundy here. Different color scheme than other teams you saw at the time. And like I said, eventually it grew on me. The next step was third jersey. So saying, all right, we're going to do a third jersey. And I'm sure they looked at the Burger King and went, well, that's kind of actually nice. They probably saw the St. Louis jersey that Mike Keenan said, we're not wearing that with the trumpets on it. Said, man, that's something. Well, we can beat that. And this is what was born. And this third jersey is legendary at this point. I'm glad I have it. There's an NHL Jersey Finder account on Twitter that helped me locate this exact one because it was hard to find one in my size. This is a medium, and I wear a small or a medium. With the older ones, I tend to probably get a medium, even though I can wear a small because they're comfy. But yeah, this is one of the ugliest jerseys ever and fantastic. So when I did the looking for the ugliest jersey from Arizona, there really wasn't a question of which jersey I was going to use. It was just how much pomp and circumstance to attach to just how amazingly. I don't know what they're doing here. I mean, I get it. It's the nighttime in the desert kind of thing, but who wants a giant coyote head in the sky during like a camping trip? I guess there's people that would be like, all right, so where are we? Well, the giant coyote head is in the west, so that's a really good indicator of where we are in the desert. But you're already in trouble if you're trying to figure out which direction in the desert you need to walk in order to find your water and your recreational vehicle. this is what this head does. It takes you way off track. So we're still in the Phoenix jerseys, and I know this because on the shoulder of this, it's Phoenix. But Phoenix would have a rebranding where they went, all right, this is now our logo. It's honestly cleaner. It's a cleaner design. I think it's nice. Again, the burgundy color is different than other teams have in the NHL. This, of course, being an Ed Jovanovski jersey. And yeah, I got this one through Full Moon Jerseys, and it's definitely a fun one, and it's just single layer. Somebody mentioned on the jersey video I did the other day that the number and letters were single layer. Yeah, it's the way that the NHL makes them too. So yeah, a fun jersey, still Phoenix. This is a Coho, and of course this is when behind the strings there wasn't fabric back there, so you had to tie your strings up because they actually did something back then. Now, eventually, they start going with Arizona. So Arizona on the sleeve here, Arizona on the sleeve here. It's still just on the one shoulder, which is odd. But they go with the white, and I don't have a white one when it was Phoenix, because why? So this one's a Mike Smith. I got this one through Full Moon Jerseys. Again, you'll see that it's single layer. And this, of course, another Reebok blank. Ooh, blank. And yeah, the only difference really is that, of course, now you have the fabric behind the strings. So this is the era of the strings not really doing anything. They're just sort of there. And, of course, both jerseys have them. They're still nice, though. Aesthetically, they're nice. But they really don't do anything. The one thing I'll say for Arizona jerseys is they really are, they're nicer than they may look. The only thing these jerseys are missing, the stripes on the bottom. You'll notice the stripes that were on the bottom of the red jersey I just showed you with, burgundy, with Jovanovski on the back. Those stripes were gone off the bottom. For whatever reason, Reebok hated stripes on the bottom, and they tried to get rid of them. And in Toronto, fans weren't happy, and in some other locations, people were like, yeah, well, whatever. But it's weird to go, yeah, we just don't like the stripes on the bottom. Why not? What's wrong with stripes on the bottom? So Adidas comes along, and they go, all right, fine, we'll put this little stripe on the bottom. Everybody can shut up now. And the AZ is still on the shoulder for the road jersey, for the white one. The strings, of course, have been changed now to this. There's a really nice design on the inside here, which is kind of an homage to the Kachina. And then the home jersey's been changed. So we've got the black stripe now in here, which I think was nice. I think the striping change was nice. And then here's a black stripe on the bottom. Again, just to shut everybody up about the stripes. And then on the shoulder now, you've got the paw with the A. So that's the difference between the home and away jerseys for Arizona between before and now. And of course, again, you have that design on the inside of the neck, which is really kind of a nice touch. And one thing I've mentioned before, I'll mention it again here. This is a suede type material right here. So I don't wear these often because I don't know how well that material's gonna wear. I don't have any idea because I know I used to have a suede vest I wore all the time and wrecked it. So I don't want to end up in a situation where I'm going, oh, it was suede and it's ruined. Again, these are really sharp jerseys, and I don't think that I feel they're underrated. I don't think they get the credit that they deserve for coming up with it. What's a really sharp design. The striping, the colors, everything, it really just kind of works. And then the thing to resistance is they went back to it. So this, of course, now just says Coyotes. Doesn't say Phoenix anymore. Doesn't say Arizona either, though. So if you really want to get into your conspiracy theory part of it, it just says Coyotes. So it doesn't necessarily mean it won't be the Houston Coyotes. I'm just kidding. So the logo is still made the same. So one thing with Adidas, the logos are all usually different. The logo is made essentially the same between the Reeboks and this. So what you're getting is basically the same thing. Kind of surprised that this isn't cut out. Kind of surprised this isn't cut out as well. With Tampa Bay, they showed they could cut around logos and make them look really sharp. But this is very popular jersey. And it's funny how the jersey everybody couldn't stand when it debuted back in the mid-90s because it was an affront to their very senses and sensibilities, is now the one that everybody's coveting and wanting. So they did change the neckline again when they put them on the Adidas, And this design around the neck has got smaller and smaller, it would seem, with each redesign. But they've still got the entire Kachina design here and here really nicely done. So they're still sharp, and this is one native inspired design that there's no controversy with anymore. It's gone. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. And of course, this is one of my favorites. And when I do jersey countdowns, and this one's really high up, it's one of the top, I'm going to say top 40. I'm pretty sure it's top 40, maybe even top 20. And I don't have the list in front of me, so I'm pretty sure it's top 20. Just hedging a little bit. But people will say, how can you like the Kachina? The Kachina's ugly. And then there are others that say they love it. So it is a very divisive jersey indeed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, you just happen upon this video. For people wondering how I'm going to do the Boston one next, I have a lot of Boston jerseys, and thankfully, they've done a lot of throwback jerseys that throw back to previous designs from the 30s, 40s, 50s, etc., etc. So we'll get into that with Boston, and I have plenty of Boston stuff. Don't worry, I won't run out of Boston gear to share with you fine people in the next installment in this list. Thank you guys so much for everything. I will talk to you again soon.